Welcome back. I want to discuss part two of my stem cell therapy. We just talked about going to the process of going to Arizona, meeting with Dr. Jamie E. Wall. But day one was the consultation. Day two was the day of the actual procedure. So let me explain how that worked. Got there. My appointment was at 8 o'clock in the morning. Got there. You wear something loose fitting that you're able to change into, or you can bring extra clothing. She had asked that. And wow, how was I feeling? I was excited about the process. But at the same time, I was a little nervous because I didn't know everything that was going to go on in the process. She explained it to me, but it was in the back of my head. I was thinking, is this going to work? Is this for me? But I went in. My mother and my husband and my boys were with me on the day of the procedure, which was July 10th, 2013 at 8 a.m. Got there, and Dr. Jamie E. Wall and her assistant, her name is Jennifer, she was amazing. They helped me dress and laid me on the table, spaced down, and they explain each and every process. And I don't want to be graphic with it, but there are two incisions that were made on the upper part of above my gluteus maximus, or our behind, or booty, or buttocks. And that incision was like a size of, I would say, like if you had cut yourself, like a stab wound. She would describe it as a stab wound. So it was a small incision, and they went in and they basically numbed the area around my gluteus maximus, because the stem cells are right above, I would say the lower part of your back, right before your buttocks. Those are really where your stem cells are. The front area is stressed fat, is how she explained it to me. That makes sense. So it was kind of like having a liposuction in your back area, but just in your back area. And she numbed the area, and then she filled it with fluid. And so what it does for 10 minutes, it stretches your bottom, like stretches it, and feels like a little tightening. And it had to lay there for an hour, and then, or probably less than an hour. And then she would come in and scrape to get the stem cells. I'm shortening the process because I don't want to be too gruesome. But it's not that gruesome. But for me, I just like to not go into all of that. But once they were able to extract the stem cells from the body, they looked like, the way she put it was like pink lemonade, and that's exactly what it looked like. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to take any pictures or video the procedure because Dr. Ewall, for privacy issues, she doesn't like to have that done, and I can respect that. So we weren't able to take pictures, but the boys and my husband and my mother were able to see the stem cells. And it was a little, some of them come out different colors, look tan, or kind of like how chicken fat. That's the best way I can describe it. The extra fat that's on our chicken breasts or so that we were pulling off and cutting off the excess. That's what it looks like, but with a little bit of blood, so kind of looked like pink lemonade. And from there, I was able to take a break, lunch. She got me cleaned up, and I was able to leave for a couple of hours, and so we went back to the timeshare and ate something she told me to eat, and I did, and to rest. And so when I was there, at the place resting, I guess my body was going through a shock phase because of the cleansing and how they were digging and trying to get the fat. Of course, needless to say, I was awake through the process. I didn't feel anything, just felt like pressure. The best way I can describe it is like having your tooth pull, and when they numb it, and then when they're doing it, you can feel the pressure when they're pulling to extract it. That's similar to what I felt. And again, they explained every process from when they injected you, what you're gonna feel, all of that. So after the break, where they were getting the stem cells and getting them cleaned up, I come back into the office, and it's time to put them back in me. But before she does that, she had given me a solution intravenously that will open up my cells and my veins and all those, I guess, my arteries, just to make sure everything gets, when she opens it up, that the stem cells are able to flow into to their correct paths or go where they need to go. And so she did that, and it felt like a gush of fresh, warm wind coming like throughout your body. That's what it felt like when it was opening up. And from that point, I would have nasal with my stem cells, where she put them into a nasal drop, where I would have to inhale, and then what it would do was open up this nasal passage, and it will get to the brain a lot faster. And how I like to compare that would be to opening up a can of Coke, which I used to love, and the feeling that you get, or the when you drink it, and that fizz that you feel, the caffeine, that's kind of like how it feels like going in throughout your body. Just a like a real soft feel. It's not a painful feel or anything of that nature. And that's what went there. And then she was able to intravenously place the stem cells within my body, and I could feel that, and I rested, and my family was able to be in there while that happened. And then from that, every 20-30 minutes, I would have to do a nasal again. So I did a series of 6. So she did that. And then the part that I guess I was surprised by was that I didn't know that she actually only needed 1 million stem cells to do the procedure. And she says she usually gets way more than that. So I was a little worried. I'm like, 1 million stem cells? I got 1 million stem cells? You need 1 million? I don't think I have 1 million. But actually, she was able to extract, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but I believe she told me it was 70 million. So, and that was pretty awesome. I thought, you got 70 million out of me? Woo! So she was able to use the extra stem cells that she had and put those in a needle, and a syringe, and she was able to, I guess, give me shots of it in different pressure points along the neck, my scalp, my shoulders, along my back, and my ankles, the top of my feet, in between my fingers, which are a little painful because this area, I'm trying to show you, I guess look at your hand, but this area is like really, oh my gosh, there's no fat there, so there's nothing to hide, so it's just skin, and it's a little uncomfortable. So those were uncomfortable. I think she says, like she said, she saved the best for last. I didn't like that because she could have started with this one, but she did between my toes, and that was a little uncomfortable. I actually screamed "Mommy," and Mommy had to come stand by the table and help me, hold my hand, because that hurt a little bit. I'm not going to even try to fix that one up. That part hurt. That hurt a little. That hurt a little bit. It hurt. Like, it was uncomfortable, but it was the last of it, and I was done. So again, I'm going to place the link underneath and to share with you what, if there are any questions, or if you want to be able to discuss the stem cell therapy. I am on Facebook, and I will send a link to that as well. And I do have a link, an email address where you all can send questions as well. But again, the process for me was really great. She did afterwards give me a packet, and this packet basically breaks down everything that I'm needing on my go home packet, and it was medications that she has, and I'll show you in the next video exactly what was in there. But it was really great because she gave me ideas and tips for food to eat, things that are really good for our bodies. These are things that are contaminate our bodies or are harmful for us, and everything's based on whatever your situation is. Some people live with MS, some people live with Parkinson's. So she's categorized, she specializes the treatment as far as your dietary needs based on your medical history, and that's what's discussed during the consultation. And what I like about it is that she's able to go over your medical history, and she's already had that paperwork, and you can send your MRI over, so she'll actually know exactly where she needs to work and focus on. And she actually treated the entire body. So she doesn't go, oh, well, I'm just going to treat the left side of your brain, Tiffany, left side of your body, because that's where you're having the foot drop majorly, and that's where you said your lesions were, she's going to treat the whole body, bilateral, and that's what I liked about it. And she's just a very down-to-earth girl. She's country girl with a big heart. And she's from Alabama, and she has a great heart. And so we want to again say thank you, Dr. Ewall, and to your staff at the Stem Cell Rejuvenation Center. I am not a paid sponsor. They do not pay me to promote their business. I'm just a satisfied customer who's only been treated since Wednesday made 2 weeks, and today is July 27th, and I went on the 10th. So that lets you know that I'd get no referral business for talking for them. It's just something that I want to share with you all. So if you have any questions, or if you like more information, I'll be glad to send the information over to you. Even if you're wanting to get copies of like what medications that she was given, she made the diets, she talks about the dirty dozens, the foods that were good for us that are contaminated with pesticides and things of that nature. She basically breaks it down and educates you more on what's good for our bodies. And so with that, I want to say until next time, enjoy your day, live life in an abundant way, and be encouraged. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, lovies.